Pro knee pad is built to last and perform, blending highly durable fabrics and materials into an innovative design with exceptional craftsmanship. We use a very tough, military-grade ballistic nylon for the outer shell material. We triple stitched every seam to prevent blowouts and reinforced all of the straps with additional stitching. Our top straps are made with a high retention elastic that minimizes excessive stretching and incorporates a length adjustment system to allow you to lengthen or shorten the top strap. The inner knee cup mold is streamlined and deep fitting and features a 4-tiered foam system combining varying densities of foam with shock dispersing foam to achieve both shock reduction and comfort on impact. The inner foam layer is a high rebound memory foam which absorbs shock and molds to your knee on impact, stabilizing the knee, helping to prevent slippage. Our kneecap has a flat surface that supports stability on impact and is made with a high abrasion polycarbonate plastic for durability. The S1 Pro knee pad: stability, durability, functionality.
State capital, 26th state, a minute into the Union. They're one of the capitals that has a cast iron dome, so that's a pretty cool fact. Moving right along, Ursa Mamer wearing the star for Team Bada. And I can't really see the Montana Jammer stuck behind that wall of blue shirts in the front of the pack. But it looked like Ursa Mamer does jump out front and grab lead jammer status. '91 is Shake and Bake, and we need to write that down because they're not on the roster. Thank you so much for submitting an incomplete roster for us. That is Shake and Bake. And that is called. We did have a star pass on that one to show me your kitties. That is 468. And it started with 91. Just to keep my producer on track because I love him in the morning. Jam number 3 coming up. Team Bada off to the early lead. And it looks like we got Emotional Jammage wearing the star for Team Bada. And I would love to tell you who that Montana Jammer is, and I'm going to tell you just as soon as I can find out. That is Roland Rogue. Thank you so much to the NSO that put that on the board for me. And we are just exchanging. Everybody trying to get through Emotional Jammage does take a pirouette to the inside and get clear on the initial. Grabbing lead jammer status for Team Bada. And I believe that's 3 in a row. Rich gives me the nod to tell me that is correct. And that jam's going to be called. Looks like 4 points awarded. It's going to bring their total up to 9. Still got 26 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this first half. Thank you so much. Look, correction, 4 points, bringing their total to 13. Sometimes announcers get a little quick on. We have no patience. That's why we're announcers. Jam number 4 going up. Glow Job, but Foggy gets first lead jam for Montana. Foggy, your jammer of record from Montana, up front and lead. Glow Job wearing the star for Team Bada. And we're going to have a power jam as Foggy's going to go to the bench for a forearm. Glow Job working on that wall of black shirts at the front of the pack. Team Montana defense. I want to say that's Hammer, Brutal, and 227 and Bashaway, giving them blockers love out there for Team Montana. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, Team Bada locking down the defense at the back of the pack. That looks like Steph and a couple players to be named later. Foggy out of the box and putting points up on the board for Montana. Montana getting 4 points on that pass. Foggy coming around on another scoring pass. Got one to beat. Excuse me. Foggy does get clear and puts 4 more points up on the board, 8 total. Meanwhile, Glow Job still working hard, trying to get through on another scoring pass with 8 points in the pocket. We don't have lead jam anymore as Foggy went to the box, and that is our first 2-minute jam. It's going to be a 12 points to Montana on that jam.
The engagement zone reabsorbed her, so I brought it down, kept it up, and then fully extended it again because we were back out of the engagement zone. So I'm sorry for the 5 total, 4 anyway.
You turning me down?
Oh, no, I'm turning me up.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to become audible.
You're going to come join me?
Stream, buddy.
Soccer Blue wearing the Star 4 Team Bada going up against Tramp Stamp. 12 points to Montana, 18 points for Team Bada. Soccer Blue out front and lead. I've seen Soccer Blue skate in the last couple of weeks a lot. Last month, saw her at USAR's Nationals in Nebraska. Saw her in Phoenix. And here, Soccer Blue, one of my favorite skaters. Soccer's going to get 3 points on that jam. 21-12. We got our first palindrome score. I knew I'd have one. I manifested it all weekend. At 22 minutes, we've got a palindrome score with 1s and 2s. It's also a binary code.
No, it's not.
No?
No twos
like
in binary.
trinary code?
Twos aren't real.
Okay, 2s are not real. That's what Rich is telling me. But it is a palindrome, 12-21. Sparta, the jammer record 14, Montana going up against Emotional Jammage. Both jammers get out about the same time, but Emotional Jammage is signaled as lead. Both jammers having a race back to the pack, and Emotional Jammage is just going to go ahead and call it off, bringing the good vibes to a close. We're going to reset, and we will start jam number 7.
Thank you for bearing with us this early in the morning as we tweak all the things with the stream.
All I know is we got another jam in with the palindrome score intact. So I'm okay with that scoreless jam right there.
All right, so I'm just
Going into jam number 7, we got Ursa Mamer grabbing lead jammer status, crossing the pivot line. Shake and bake the jammer record 14, Montana.
Star pass for Montana, number 17, taking star, becoming the active jammer. Call off is forced, going to be 4 points total for Badass Derby, 0 Montana. Brings our score to Montana 12, Badass Derby 25, 21 minutes remaining to play in the first half.
Absolutely. I'm Johnny Pepper, and I'm joined by
Rich Mahogany, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rich.
Oh, thanks for having me, Johnny.
Man, I'm glad to be calling with you again.
Oh, buddy, nowhere I'd rather be
Absolutely.
than behind the mic with
Absolutely. This morning coming into jam number 8, Soccer Blue once again wearing the Star 14 Bada. And Montana's going to go with Roland Rogue.
hard to hear in the odyssey between me and the ref using the hand signals. So power jam here for Team Montana in Poland Road.
It's exactly what Montana needed to go chipping away at that bottle lead.
Badass Derby, though, that's not going to make it easy for people up at the front in the second straightaway. Okay, they are going to get through on a Badass Derby. Rolling Road taking the jam for Montana.
Team Bada playing some named defense in that penalty kill as no points were scored while Soccer was in the box. The Happy Coffee penalty box, I might add. Shout out to our friends over at Happy Coffee. It's not sad, it's happy coffee.
All right, so as we are here, we've got a score-sitting Badass Derby, 25, Montana 16. 19 minutes, 12 seconds remain in the first half. Going to the line for Montana in the black will be Fog. Badass Derby in the blue is Soccer Blue. We are going to get into a team timeout being called for by Badass Derby.
That's Bella DeBall, the coach for Team Bada, out there asking for this official timeout. And this stoppage in play is brought to you by 187 Killer Pads.
Oh, and let's not forget...
and our friends at AAA NYC. Also, if you sponsor Roller Derby, Johnny Pepper's got lots of love for you. Thank you so much. We cannot do this without you.
When you announce Roller Derby and our Johnny Pepper, the Rich Mahogany has a lot of love for you.
Absolutely.
So lots of love for anybody tuning in bright and early.
Also want to give a shout out to Out From Under the Bed podcast and the Boogeyman and Master Sedator out there in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Pretty cool roller derby podcast. If you never listened to it, go to Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. That's Out From Under the Bed.
So we are about ready to get back into the action here. Jam number 9 of the first half. As we were saying, we see Foggy on the line for Montana in the black, Soccer Blue for Badass Derby in the blue. Oh, Foggy sees an open line on the inside, takes a nice quick.
On track cut. That's a power jam for Team Bada. Foggy off to the 187 Killer Pads penalty box. Oh, the Happy Coffee penalty box.
Yeah,
I transported to last week. You know how it is.
4 points. So Foggy did lead before heading to this is going to be a full 2-minute jam.
And this will be our second 2-minute jam of the game.
Right, you are.
Well, it's easy when you only got jam 9, you know. So
I've already lost track.
once we get past jam 10, I won't remember that anymore. Soccer Blue with 12 points in the pocket, looking to get a little more. Foggy getting a little speed. Must have had some Happy Coffee while they were in the penalty box.
Got a little bit of pep in the step.
Absolutely.
Got
There's an ad read somewhere around here for that Happy Coffee. I'd love to find that for you before the next OTO.
Yeah, we'll find it, Donnie.
Are we getting good levels?
On the stream right now. We are adding hardware as we speak. The tournament is leveling up live.
Thanks to the good folks at Derby Date Night for bringing additional equipment to make us live here at Skate Wars 2024. Derby Date Night, wherever you get your podcasts.
Back to the track.
20 points for Soccer Blue on that jam. 45-24. 16 minutes left to go in this first half. What do you think about that, Rich?
That was a big jam for Badass Derby. Montana held in well there. especially suffering on the back end of a power jam. We're back in the track now. So we've got, let's see, that's going to be Glow Job number 998 taking lead for Badass Derby. Right behind is Sparta for Montana.
Both jammers engaged in the pack about the same time.
Oh, fast call off. But right as the teams are approaching, Montana steals away 2 points. Badass Derby unable to pick up any. Good.
That's 2 points they didn't have before the jam started, and that's what you need to go chipping away at that bottom lead.
Wow. That's right. 19 points separate these teams with 15 minutes remaining to play in the first half. Going to have actually, right at the end of that jam, it looks like Glow Job picked up a penalty and is headed to the penalty box. So this is a power start for Montana. Number 12, Foggy, out taking lead for Montana.
Montana also losing another blocker to the Happy Coffee penalty box. That is 44, Montucky Lucky in the Happy Coffee penalty box. Glow Job re-engages the pack, trying to get through, and does.
Oh no, a forearm penalty says to Glow Job. We'll send them back to the penalty box, that Happy Coffee penalty box. Ooh, Foggy going for the call off, but picks up a forearm penalty of their own. So, Johnny, we're going to have our third 2-minute jam here in the first half of the first half.
You are correct, Brother Rich.
Pack wisely deciding to back up to where the penalty box is to encounter the jammers as they are released. Glow Job caught on the outside, recycled. Almost very, very narrowly avoiding a track cut penalty there. Foggy back on the track now. Bodies hitting the floor on the infield. Out of bounds block.
Out of bounds cut. Take it back. You want. Passing out penalties like Oprah gives away cars.
Wow, Foggy on a tear this jam at 12 points. This is going to be so far has tied the biggest jam of the game for Montana.
Exactly what Montana needed. Making everybody in the Montana area happy.
Holy cats, Mr. Pepper. 16 points for Montana. Brings the score to Montana 42, Badass Derby at 45. Putting this at a 3-point game. Single blocker in the box for both teams. We do have a Badass Derby blocker standing in the box. It looks like that is number 626, Witch Slapped. And a Team Montana blocker just went to the box. It was called, it seemed like just at the end of that last jam. I do not have eyes on that number, but they will be starting in the box for a full 30 seconds as we sit here with an official timeout.
This official timeout is brought to you by our good friends over at 187 Killer Pads and our good friends over at 888 New York City. I'm supposed to be reading you an ad about Happy Coffee, but my producer just dropped the ball.
Hey, we don't have the producer anymore because I stepped up to doing the stream.
I apologize.
You bet.
I apologize.
You like
Happy Coffee.
I know that
it doesn't have that charred taste. It's really, really good.
Yeah, no,
Happy Coffee, proud sponsor of the penalty box. So we got it done. We just didn't read the ad we're supposed to. I'm sure we'll find it at halftime.
It's I think the binder's under your
under my clipboard.
Yeah, you got it.
Under my fan.
Streaming it. You got it right there. You take a look at that. I'm going to take a look back at the track. We're going to have both jammers on the line here as we say a 3-3 pack here. Emotional Jammage, jammer of record for Badass Derby. Nice little sidestep out there. Going to take lead jam for Badass Derby. Montana doing a quick star pass over to number 468. That's Show Me Your Kitties. I would like kitties as well. Unfortunately, I do not have a screen in front of me where you can send me kitties, but send each other kitties.
Yes.
In the spirit of things. Montana does manage to steal away 1 point on that jam. Looks like we're not seeing any go up for Badass Derby. So Montana winning that jam there, continuing to narrow this gap. Oh, okay, there we go. There are the 4 points added for Badass Derby. So Montana 43, Badass Derby 49. Ursa Mamer, jammer of record for Badass Derby. Shake and Bake returning to the line for Montana.
6 points separating these two teams as the clock ticks down under 12 minutes to go in the first half.
Montana
we have a player going to the
44 to the box.
Penalty box, Montucky Lucky.
Oh, and another blocker heading to the box. That's number 8 for Team Badass.
That's Sweet Assassin. Meanwhile, the Jammer's out on the track. What's going on there, Rich?
Oh, we got Ursa Mamer with the lead jam, engaging the back of the pack on their first scoring pass. Going to be knocked outside and recycled to the outside of the turn 1-2 apex by number 0, Mantis. Shake and Bake still working on the initial. Gonna have the jam called. Badass Derby picking up 3 points. Montana scoreless. So score gap extends to 9 points as Badass Derby takes their score to 52. Montana stays at 43.
11 minutes left to go in this first half. As we're about to start jam number 14. Remember, it's important to hydrate or die. Roland Rogue wearing the star for Montana going up against Emotional Jamage. Looks like Roland Rogue gets out front and lead, rolling across the pivot line going into turn 1.
Emotional Jamage pushing away on the inside. Very nice line work by the Montana defense here. Do manage to keep the Badass Jammer back.
Roland Rogue on a scoring pass with 1 to beat. And that turns into 2. That Bada defense is just swarming. Sweet Assassin's going to the Happy Coffee penalty box. And Roland Rogue does get through for 4 points. Emotional Damage, meanwhile, trying to get through that Montana wall at the back of the pack. Gets knocked to the outside, recycles all the way back, tries to find a hole on the inside. Not a lot of daylight in that 3 wall up front.
Not at
Montana.
all. And at the back, Montana has just the past 2 jams have just been really locking down those lines. The Badass Derby jammers trying really hard to kind of do that sidestep and hop action, but Montana defending the line very well.
Emotional Damage just pushing at that tripod.
All right.
Roland Rogue does get out for another 4 points. As I say that, Emotional Damage does clear as well.
Right now eligible to score points. We're going to see if Montana will let that happen. No, they will not. Jam is called. Total of 12 points up for Montana, holding Badass Derby down to 0. And
you know what that is?
That, let me see here. Let me take it. Badass Derby 52, Montana 55. Oh! That's a lead change. Hey,
if you're playing along at home, hydrate. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. So hydrate or die.
Lining up for jam number 15 of the first half. Sparta on the line for Montana in the black. Soccer Blue, jammer of record for Badass Derby in the blue. Running up the outside, taking a quick lead jam is Soccer Blue. Will see Montana lose their blocker, number 17, to the box. Yeah, 17, one of the folks that we do not have on the roster, and I do not have their name on their jersey. So,
I think the person down there has that. We'll try to get
Texas
that for
Twisters,
you.
Not Texas Twisters, number
Texas
17.
Twister. I'll write that down, and we won't have that problem anymore.
Boy, I tell you, teamwork makes the dream work, and that is what Badass Derby was out there doing right there, picking up 6 points. And we have yet another lead change.
Hee-haw, hee-haw.
Back to back.
Man.
Dare we go back to back to back?
I'm in favor of that triad.
Yeah, let's see what Team Montana is going to bring to the track here on Jam 16. They are starting one blocker down in the box at number 17, Texas Twister. They are standing, however, so back in the action in short order. Foggy jamming for Montana. Soccer Blue back out there for Badass Derby.
Still got 7 minutes left to go in the first half.
Big push by number 55 for Team Badass. Queen of Hearts.
Track cut call. I didn't see who's leaving.
Several whistles in the pack. We're going to see a direction of play penalty on number 72 for Team Badass. That's Strega. Soccer Blue takes lead. Jam. Foggy leaping the apex to complete the initial pass. Both jammers now eligible to score points. Score points. It's early here, Johnny.
Soccer Blue calls it off. Setting down.
All right, 3 points for Troubles. Yeah.
I want to take this opportunity to thank our track maintenance crew.
Absolutely.
They've been doing an awesome job all weekend. I know we're only into day 2, but they have been doing above and beyond. All 3 tracks, different colored tapes. Thank you to our track maintenance persons. Also want to thank our medical team and our tournament oversight that we can see right there at the table. Thank you for what you do. Glow Job wearing the Star 14 Bada going up against the Montana Jammer that I can't see right now with a Star Stash. Maybe just trying to get through.
Oh, so we do have, the pivot out there helping out
54 Trans Stamp. And 4 whistles rain down and bring that jam to a close.
So right at the end of that jam, Montana will lose their pivot and a blocker to the box. 4 points picked up by Badass Derby. Montana at 0. So 10 points separating these teams, 55-65 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining to play. Will be a 4-2 pack advantage in favor of Badass Derby getting into Jam 18 here.
5 seconds to call on the floor and 5 minutes on the clock as we start jam number 18. Sparta wearing the Star 14. Montana going up against Ursa Mamer.
Oh, spider through, but beautiful chase by Queen of Hearts for Badass Derby. Does end up getting the catch and recycle. Meantime, up at the front of the pack, Ursa Mamer getting through, but picking up a track cut penalty. So this is going to be a power jam for Sparta and Team Montana.
Sparta trying to get through that Bada defense up front. Sweet Assassin. And that is number 55, Queen of Hearts. Playing that awesome defense for Team Bada. Sparta coming around on another scoring pass. And Team Bada just swallows up the jammer. But they get spread out and have to let go. Sparta's going to pick up 4 points on that pass. Bringing Montana's total up to 59.
So we're going to see
what do you see over there?
Losing 2 blockers to the box at the same time. So the pack advantage has now flopped as Sparta picks up the 8th point for Montana this jam. Montana losing.
I see another Montana blocker to the box. Sparta with 8 points in the pocket puts up another 4. That's an even dozen on this jam. And that's another lead change if you're playing at home.
Penalty box emptied out for Badass Derby. Blocker for Montana now standing in the box, so back in the action soon. Montana going to call off the jam.
Only one person in the Happy Coffee penalty box at the end of that jam.
Yeah, that
And that player standing with less than 10 seconds left.
Yeah, it seemed like I saw they signaled a 1, and whether that means it was their first penalty or they've only got 1 second remaining.
Oh wow!
Yet remains to be seen.
We'll know in just a few seconds.
Oh, so Johnny, we did while you were talking about it, with that big jam, we've seen another lead change here.
I did talk about that.
Oh, we did. Oh, well, hey, cool. Look at me, listen to you. That's what I get for not being able to have you in my head right now. So I do not have Johnny in my monitor right now.
I stay in that head pretty much.
Oh yeah. You live rent.
I'm not paying rent, so I'm okay with that. Shake and bake the jammer record for Montana going up against Emotional Jamage for Team Bada. And Emotional Jamage grabs lead jammer status. Coming out of turn 1.5. That's the apex to your regular people. 1.5 to Johnny Pepper.
Oh, we've got a star pass here for Montana. Texas Twister picking up the star. Ooh, nice defense up at the front of the pack there by number 81 for Team Badass.
That is Steph. We'll have to put a little click mark right there. People trying to get click marks so they can get an MVP. Also, if you're out there watching and you got a player that you think needs to be named MVP, if there's a way to get that to us, go ahead and send it.
I would assume the Skate Wars Facebook event page is probably going to be the best way. I know as of yesterday the stream chat was disabled. I don't know if that's shifted. We don't have it in front of us.
Yes, we don't have access to it, so
we love you.
We'd love to have your vote, but we don't have. You can send it to my phone. Should I give out my number over the stream?
Hey, Godspeed, buddy. You live your best life.
If you got Johnny Pepper's number, you just go ahead and send me your MVP pick. There's lots of people out there. I gave it over the stream one time.
Oh, wow.
And nobody called.
Oh,
I didn't get any left.
That's a little hurtful, actually.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so we're going to have an official review being called for by Team Badass. 5 points picked up on the last jam. Score sits at Montana 67, Badass 70. So 3 points separating these teams with the clock frozen at 54 seconds remaining in the first half.
This stoppage and play brought to you by 187 Killer Pads and our good friends over at AAA New York City. Thank you so much for what you do for roller derby, keeping us out here and doing the thing that we love to do. I heard you went to an after party last night?
There was went to a little event just outside of the event center. There were a DJ spinning and a few little bits of food out there. I'm not really, if anybody who knows me knows that Rich Mahogany is not really the mid-tournament after-party type. I like my sleep.
Hey, look what I found.
Oh, buddy.
This official review is being used for a timeout. And that's going to give me a chance to give some refs and some NSO some loves.
Do it, buddy.
Skating refs this weekend are Daddy Pants, Hemlock, Tim the Ref, Geo Knitter, Zed, Castro Steve, Cutter, Lemon Stinger, Pika, Havoc, Gorshak, Fury, Calamitous Intent, Tough, Not to Be Karen, Swiss Mischief, Sweet K, Oz, Sam Anik, Lethal Lens, Peter Colas, Guinness, Power Trip, Henchman, Ada, Technical Difficulty, Cindy Vicious, Prince Albert, Doc Lawless, Axel Rose, Bona and Coffee, Manischewitz, The Great Cornholio, Bio, Harley Sin, PH Demon, Nomad, Bustin, and Frank the Tank. What's going on the track there,
Great
Rich?
timing, Johnny. We've got Glow Job on the line for Badass Derby. Rollin' Rogue out for Montana. Rogue pushed to the outside, recycled back. Ooh, big hit attempt on Glow Job. Oh, it looks like a forearm penalty going to take Glow Job out, heading to the Happy Coffee penalty box. So this is going to be a power jam for Montana and Rollin' Rogue. I believe lead is still open, although the hat has been taken off. Star is passed. So it's going to be Show Me Your Kitties becoming the jammer of record for Montana. And we'll see here. Well, at this point, we will have another full 2-minute jam. I believe this is the fourth of the game.
Another lead change, by the way.
Oh, wow, yeah. What a back and forth game this has been, Johnny.
This is awesome. This is just really good derby for a first game on a Saturday morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Happy Saturday, my brother.
Happy Saturday to you,
Absolutely.
sir. Show me your kitties, unfortunately, going to the penalty box. So a jammer do-si-do here. Glow Job back on the track, completing the initial pass, now eligible to score points.
Glow Job with 30 seconds to work with as we almost going into halftime.
That's right.
Probably our fourth 2-minute jam of the game.
Yeah, I believe you are correct, sir.
And that's going to take us to halftime when we get this last 17 seconds done.
Glow Job coming in hot. Is taken to the outside of team of turn 4 by Team Badass. By Team Montana. Holy cow. I haven't had, my coffee hasn't cooled enough for me to start drinking it yet, Johnny.
I'll tell you.
Slam it at the half here.
Well, let's give a shout out to Happy Coffee, proud sponsor of the penalty box, expertly blended and slow roasted for more complex notes, char-free taste, and ultimate smoothness. That is Happy Coffee. We're going to halftime.
Yeah, we'll be back in just about 10 minutes.
I am Johnny Pepper.
I am Rich Mahogany.
Peace, love, and roller derby.
The S1 Lifer helmet is one size fits all for head sizes 20.5 to 23.5 inches. With our color-coded sizing liner system, you can be confident that you'll be able to create a perfect fit with the S1 Lifer helmet. Not all head sizes are the same, so size flexibility is crucial when you're looking to buy a helmet. Standard sizing liners do not affect how the helmet disperses impact energy. So no matter what size you are, an extra small or a 3XL, you can be confident that the S1 Lifer helmet will meet and or exceed current helmet safety standards. If you have a small head or you have a really big head, don't worry, we have a helmet that will fit you too. Check out our Mini Lifer or our Mega Lifer helmet, which are our smaller and bigger helmet shell options. Remember, a great fit is crucial for safety. The S1 Lifer helmet, a better fitting, safer helmet.
About there. All right, here we are live for the second half of Montana versus Team Badass Derby. Badass Derby was 76, Montana was 69.
Nice.
What's the story of that game? Lead change.
Yeah, we saw many lead changes at that first half. I want to say at least 5. Things started off, Team Badass was really in control of the match in the first half. Or in the first half of the first half. Montana then really stabilizing. The lead jams have still largely been in favor of Badass. Montana, though, starting to get some pretty big jams towards the end there. Taking a look at penalty counts, Team Montana has picked up 18 penalties, mostly positional penalties, whereas Team Badass picked up 15 penalties, many of them forearms.
That seems a little penalty heavy.
It seems like it, but they're spreading the love around, Johnny.
Okay.
Nobody's really
nobody's in trouble?
Yeah, nobody's broken 3.
Okay.
So overall a pretty clean game. Even if the happy penalty box has been getting some action. But we are into the action with jam number 1 of the second half. Soccer Blue jamming for Badass Derby. Number 23 out for Montana, that's Sparta. Sparta does take lead, but was momentarily waylaid by 2 blockers for Badass Derby, but now is free and clear to begin the first scoring pass.
Meanwhile, Soccer Blue clear on the initial and in pursuit of Sparta, who engages the back of the pack, goes around the outside and calls it off.
So it looks like right at the end there, we may have lost the pivot to the box. Yes. So 1 point picked up for Montana. I guess that's okay. It's not, I wouldn't call it nice. Bringing their score up to 70. Badass Derby 6 points ahead with 76. Montana did lose their pivot, Montucky Lucky, number 44, to the penalty box right at the end of that jam. We are going to have an official timeout.
This official timeout brought to you by our good friends over at 187 Killer Pads and our friends at AAA New York City. Thank you for what you do for roller derby. That's money well spent because we've had a lot of stoppages.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like we've been seeing a lot of clock stoppages this weekend. I mean, you're always going to get some with official reviews and team timeouts. But there have been a decent number of official timeouts that we've seen this weekend as well.
5 seconds away from genuine flat track roller derby action here at Skate Wars 2024 here in Lansing, Michigan. Woo! Oh boy!
All right, we are into the action with jam number 2, Ursa Mamer, jammer of record for Badass Derby. Shake and bake out there for Montana in the black. Ursa Mamer trying the twist to the inside, but nice repositioning for the blockers of Montana. That is a 4.68 on the outside there. Show me your kitties.
Montana holds for a little bit, but Ursa does get through, and with a back block, is going to go to the Happy Coffee penalty box. We still don't have lead.
Shake and bake up at the front of the pack, but star cover in hand, so will not be eligible to get lead here.
That was a long pack.
Yeah, we do now have Shake and Bake eligible to score points for Montana, but ineligible for lead, having removed that star cover. Ursa Mamer standing in the penalty box, ready to get back into the action for Badass Derby. So this is going to be our first 2-minute jam of the second half. We saw several of those in the first.
We saw 5. Thanks to my perfect brain.
It is pretty and perfect.
Oh!
Ursa Mamer back on the track. Defense is really locking in the turn 3-4 apex here.
Well, that's going to be the nature of this jam. It's like, are the defenders going to be able to stop these runs? Because, I mean, there is going to be no stop.
So we are going to have a directional penalty on a Badass Derby blocker. Shake and bake through on the outside, does pick up 4 points. Ursa Mamer now completing the initial pass for Badass Derby, eligible to score points, but the clock runs out. No points that jam for Badass Derby. Montana picks up 8. And Johnny, we've got another lead change.
Another lead change. I love a lot of lead changes.
Oh,
I hope it's tied up when we get to the end when the clock goes to 0.
Yeah. Oh, you want to get that overtime jam?
I want an overtime jam so bad.
Oh, it's been a minute since I've seen a real live roller derby overtime jam.
I had a palindrome score that stayed for 2 jams, so that was pretty cool.
We're starting day 2 here of Skate Wars 2024 on a high note. Emotional Jammage on the track, taking lead for Badass Derby. That's number 888 in the blue. Looking down to the jammer for Montana. We actually have already passed the star. Oh no, yes. Okay, that was a very nice stash there. So number 17 now becoming the jammer of record.
Texas Twister.
That is Texas Twister. Yes, sir. Well done, Johnny.
Yes.
Way to pay attention.
What you got there in your hand?
I got a little star pin.
I got a star pin too. What's it for?
I think it's because somebody loves us. Probably our illustrious THA, the Bob Noxious.
The imitable Bob Noxious. Love you, Bob. Thanks for what you do. I know this has been a very tough weekend. I'm here to help you through.
It's a lot of work. Putting in the work on the track. Emotional Jammage has picked up 12 points so far.
That's another lead change.
That it is, Johnny. With like a 10-point spread so far. We're going to see what additional points, if any, Badass Derby can put up. Jam is going to be called 3 more points on that pass. So that is going to be 78 Montana, 91 Badass Derby for yet another lead change. We've got just shy of 25 minutes remaining to play in this game. Gosh, this is an exciting one.
13 points separating these two teams as the clock ticks down under 24:47. 5 seconds to call on the floor as we go to Jam 4 of the second half of Game 1 of the second day of Skate Wars 2024.
Penalty box is empty. Foggy is jamming for Montana in the black against Soccer Blue for Badass Derby in the blue. Foggy coming in fast. Oh, does pick up a cut, though. That's going to be a power jam for Soccer Blue, who does take lead jam.
Exactly what Soccer Blue wanted.
Very light pack out there right now. Got 2 blockers for each team, looks like. Oh, nope, 3 blockers for Montana. Nobody expects the Spanish
The happy
Inquisition.
coffee penalty box is full.
That is a happy penalty box.
Yes, it
if
is.
not happy skaters in the box.
Unhappy skaters.
Whew! Soccer Blue coming in hot, gets nice and low on the outside. Beautiful bobbing and weaving on the second straightaway to get through, untouched for 4 more roller derby points for Badass Derby.
Nice.
That was indeed very badass.
Yes, it was. Soccer Blue with 8 points in the pocket, looking to get a little more. Foggy release from the happy coffee penalty box and back into the fray.
Dealing.
Foggy pushing at that wall of blue on the back. It looks like 4 people. Like you said last night, a blocktopus?
Yes, a blocktopus,
I
8
love
legs,
seeing that.
reaching out to embrace the jammer.
I knew when I heard it, I wanted to do that as soon as I saw a 4-wall. And that was the first time I saw it.
Oh, bless.
I can't wait to put that in the toolbox.
It's one of my favorites. And it's actually not one that you see, we're seeing more 3 walls with a floater and pair blocking these days. So it's not one you get to break out as often.
Absolutely. Resetting the score for you now. 12 points on that jam. 103 to Team Bada going up against 78 for Montana and the 405.
Is going to be a 4-2 pack advantage in favor of Montana going into jam number 5 of the second half. Trant Stamp jamming for Montana against Ursa Mamer for Badass Derby. Trant Stamp taking a very quick lead. Ursa Mamer still working on the initial, may find some daylight on the inside. Number 0, Mantis, helping with the offense. Oh, but it's going to be a big run back on Mamer. Trant Stamp, anytime up at the front of the pack, 1 to beat. Does get through cleanly. 4 points for Montana. Backlock penalty seems to be assessed to number 314 for Team Badass, Raven.
Little too much defense going to the happy coffee penalty box for that hit. And that jam's going to come to a close, but not before Montana picking up 4 points. 103 to 82 with 21:30 left to go in this contest. I want to take this opportunity to thank all our SOs, NSOs. Not limited to, but including Mad to the Bone, Hemlock, Princess Leia, Jones, Succubus, Little Pistol, Jax, Quick, Glitter, Mothman, Aaron Burr, Anna Needs, Sadie Maskus, Aaron Snark, Al, Funk You Up, Mama Vader, Hicks Bosom, and Arcadia Major.
Thank you so much to our NSOs. Back to the action on the track. Jam 6, Emotional Jammage, jamming for Badass Derby. Sparta out for Montana. Sparta out in front is the jammer in the lead, but not your lead jammer. That does pick up 4 points. Queen of Hearts has received the star from Badass Derby. So, Johnny, another 2-minute jam will we get to enjoy here.
This will be the second one of the second half.
Yes, indeed. 7th of the game. A bit of an endurance test first thing in the morning here on day 2 of Skate Wars.
I've talked to a lot of skaters, and they're not big fans of 2-minute jams.
Queen of Hearts coming in for the second scoring pass. Sparta working on the third. Queen of Hearts going to be recycled back by number 22, Tough Love.
You can tell the skaters that do the endurance training when you have a bunch of 2-minute jams.
Oh yeah, you know, Sparta keeping it running here has picked up 4 more points. It's 12 total. Oh, almost through the pack cleanly, but a nice catch up at the front by Badass Derby's 3-wall.
They can do it's like I used to tell Jeremy, like, go on out there, get all the points, get all the points.
Did you talk about that star pass yet?
Oh yeah, we've talked about that the star was passed. It was a very
Queen of Hearts has been playing some awesome defense.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
doing all the things.
We've been talking about her effective, or I found myself talking about her doing something very effective fairly often this game.
Yeah, because I have a couple of click marks down here, and I know when they do really, really good things on defense, you know. Got to keep up with them MVP things because we got to pick one.
So we have the jam has been called at grand total of 12 points for Montana, 8 picked up by Badass Derby, brings the score to Montana 94, Badass Derby 111. Just under 19 minutes remain to play. Just at the end of that jam, Montana did lose their jammer Sparta to the box. So going to be, I want to say about 20 seconds before they'll be back into this action. So Soccer Blue with a power start. Okay, it's only going to be 10 seconds. Sparta just stood in the penalty box. Soccer Blue, though, going to be able to take advantage, pushing the bounds of the pack out all the way into the second straightaway, does take lead.
Team Bada with 111 points going up against 94 Montana as it stands right now at the moment. Soccer Blue on a scoring pass. Pushing on that 3 wall of Montana that's anchored at the back of the pack. Looking for a little help. That's Witch Slap trying to get it. Sparta at the
really
front of the
locking
pack.
down here. Right at the back of the pack. Poor Soccer Blue just having a rough time of it being recycled back by Mantis. Is able to come back in front. Nice track awareness there.
No earned pass. We had a class on that last week, and it's not no pass, no penalty no more. It's called a no earned pass.
No earned
That's
pass.
something new for this year.
I do love the evolution of terminology.
We've got a down skater, and out of respect, we're going to be quiet for a little bit. Thank you to our medics. All right, want to give a lot of love to our fans. Sparta left the track under their own power. Always nice to see when we have a down skater.
Absolutely.
I am in the process of giving some loves to the NSOS. That's the non-skating officials. Whoopsie Daisy, Mother of Pearl, Jugs Bunny, Jane, Babs, Bookie, Beef, Neva, Recycler, Evasive Species, None of Your Business, Scrappy Goblin, Alley Cake Contusions, Cleosmactor Jones, Sage of Destruction, Medea Morningstar, and Element of Destruction.
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 Yeah, I think so.
Destruction. Destruction. It's a play on a word that I should be familiar with, but I'm not. So we'll go ahead and leave it at that. Hammer, Mr. Parkledy, Slim Fast, Motor City Kitty, Jacks Her Up, Stabby, Nomi, Bobby Weavin, Meet You in the Middle, Paraclete, Nixer, Big Tails, Oh No You Didn't, Mimi First, Goody Two Brews, Barry Mean, and Jennifer Russell. Thank you to our NSOs.
We are back into the action here with Badass Derby taking on Team Montana. Ursa Mamer, jammer of record and lead jammer for Badass Derby. Shake and bake on the track, jamming for Montana. And Montana being very quick to remove the star whenever lead is lost or even perceived to be lost. There have been a few leads that have been given up by Montana this game from premature removal of the star. Not the case here as Ursa Mamer is lead with 4 roller derby points, looking to make it more. Shake and bake still working on the initial Oh my! Actually, Shake and Bake picked up a penalty there. Missed that in the action. Jam will be called right as they return to the track and re-engage. 2 points picked up on that pass by Badass Derby, going to bring their total to 6 for the Jam to 121 for the game. 94 Montana, 16 minutes, 20 seconds to remain.
Want to give a love to the track crew, the track maintenance crew, and we can name them by name now. That's Gadget, Cookie, Sid Monster, Sass, Russian Roulette, Slayer, Medusa, Rat, and Oe Plash. Thank you so much.
Back to the action on the track. Jam 9 Rollin' Rogue, jammer of record for Montana. And taking lead jam for Badass Derby number 888, Emotional Damage.
Emotional Damage.
Emotional Damage. Doing all kinds of damage.
Damage had some thoughts about jamming.
It seems to work out for them. Picks up 4 points on that pass. Rollin' Rogue working on the initial yet, although now up to the front of the pack, will complete the initial pass, eligible to score points for Montana.
Yeah, that was taking advantage of this odd triangulation.
Trying to take a few seconds off the clock, having the patience to wait till the other jammer almost engages the pack to call it off.
A wise call here.
Track awareness, that's what I like to see.
Absolutely. We've got Montana has a single blocker starting in the box. They are standing, so back in the action post-haste. 5 seconds is called. Soccer Blue jamming for Badass Derby in the blue, up against Foggy for Montana in the black.
Resetting the score for you, 125-94 with 14 minutes left to go in the contest. Soccer Blue grabs lead jammer status, rolling across the pivot line.
And we're going to mark that fourth row now. Badass.
So that is, we have a star pass here on the track over to Show Me Your Kitties. Kitties taking a lot of star passes for Montana. And again, like as we're talking about the track awareness of these teams, I do love how quickly they are looking to make that pass. Oh, no. A track cut on Show Me Your Kitties will send them to the penalty box as the jammer, right as the jam is called. 2 points picked up by Badass Derby.
It might be rescinded. Soccer Blue did pick up 2 points at the waning moments of that jam. Dr. Math went to the bench.
So it looks like there was a forearm that was added to a blocker for Montana. So
that's going to be a big pack advantage to Bada.
Oh no, and I unless I'm mistaken, I'm only seeing one blocker in the box for Montana and only 2 on the track. So Montana going to be running with a short pack this jam.
Short pack.
Ursa Mamer going to take advantage, gets lead jam for Badass Dirty. Badass Dirty. Well done, Rich. Well done. Badass Derby.
It's those 9 o'clock games. There's not enough coffee in the world to wake you up. Especially when you stayed out a little late last night.
Yeah, you know, blame the THA. Ursa Mamer getting caught up in the defense of Montana at the back of the pack. We see Glowjob in there playing offense, trying to open things up for her jammer.
Absolutely. 11 points on that jam to Team Bada, bringing their total up to 138, Montana 94. Still got 12 and a half minutes left to go, so it's still anybody's game. It's not out of hand by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, we've seen some jams getting towards, let's see, I'm taking a look at some of our stats here.
Thank you, Speaker of the House, for being a producer, too, as well as a house call.
Big shout out to our house crew here, the Handle Barbarian, and as you say, Speaker of the House.
That mustache is about as epic as your bow tie.
Oh, man, it makes me miss my mustache. Back to the action on the track. Jam 12, Emotional Jamage up at the front, but picks up a forearm penalty So off to the penalty. Oh, I'm sorry, a track cut penalty has been corrected to. So this is going to be a power jam for Trant Stamp. Trant Stamp is still wearing the star.
Bambi Thumper with that jammer takeout. Nice.
So Trant Stamp still eligible for lead. 2 blockers to beat up at the front. Being forced to the outside. Very solid pair blocking up at the front by Badass Derby there. Fortunately, I don't have eyes on those numbers for you. Well, one of them there is number 7, Cougarita, which is a phenomenal name. Trant Stamp does get out for lead jam, does end up breaking by that 2-wall.
That other one was Steph.
Good eye,
Just to
Mr.
help you
Pepper.
out that a little bit.
You are the wind beneath my wings, sir.
I try to do what I can.
Emotional Jamage through, completes the initial pass. We are going to see that forcing the call off there. Seeing a total of 1 point up for Montana, playing very carefully here, which you definitely don't want to be losing points unnecessarily at this phase in the game.
Also on the track crew this weekend, Jake, Jackrabbit, Blue Eyes Susie, Smarty Plants, Neva, Headhunter, Violent Tendencies, and Baby Giraffe. What a cool derby name.
Right.
I love Baby Giraffes. Don't we all?
How can you not? All right, we've got both teams at full strength as we get into Jam 13 of the second half. Running up the inside line is number 12, Foggy, for Montana, taking a quick lead jam. Soccer Blue, jammer of record for Badass Derby, does get through. Pack flying around the track. Soccer Blue really throwing on the afterburners to catch up. Badass Derby trying to take position up at the front of the pack. See who gets what. Oh, a track cut penalty on Soccer Blue. So that's going to be 3 points up for Montana. Brings the score to Montana 98, Badass Derby 138. So 40 points separate these two teams. A jammer penalty on Badass Derby to start, or to end that jam. All right, so we have our... Oh, okay, all right. Soccer Blue has been called back to the track. Or called... Yes, okay, there we are. Yes, so it's not a foul out situation or anything. The penalty is rescinded. So Soccer Blue heading back to the bench. Badass Derby will start this jam with a single blocker in the box. That's number 72, Strega.
Coach Orange Whip was about to go out there and ask for an official review.
Well, unnecessary here. We do still get a clock stoppage out of it, and that clock stoppage brought to you, of course, by none other
than 187 Killer Pads and 888 New York City.
Ursula Mema ends up being the jammer for Badass Derby, but Shake and Bake jamming for Montana will be out to take the lead. So not the power start we thought they were going to get, but still a nice start to this jam. Ursula Maimer is out right behind. But again, the pack just really picking up speed. The Badass Derby blockers up in front trying to really drive up this pack speed. Another quick call off, but 2 points picked up by Montana, holding Badass Derby down to 0. Have any special friends we want to give thanks to for their support of Skate Wars 2024?
We can talk about the Gillespie Group, specializing in the management, development, and reimagination of residential and commercial real estate properties. They credit quality people, a relentless creative spirit, and a passion for reinvention, and their ability to leave a lasting impression on Michigan's landscape. That is the Gillespie Group.
Perfect timing. We are right back into the action in Jam 15. Badass Derby with a single blocker standing in the box. Emotional Jamage jamming for Badass Derby. Sparta out for Montana. And Emotional Jamage takes lead, breaking the lead streak of Montana. Sparta still looking for daylight. Has removed that star, looking to make the pass. Oh,
Nicely done now up to the front, but the Badass Derby defense just right back up to the front.
Glow job and a couple of friends really doing the things for Team Bada in the front.
All right, wow, like
What a magnificent bridge.
I was just going to say, we've got 3 bridge outs, and get great communication awareness by Badass Derby here. As soon as that jammer gets let go, just running back to help their jammer.
Team Badass doing their Corps of Engineers impression.
So 2 points picked up by Badass Derby. Brings our score to Montana 100, Badass Derby 140. Hey, that's really easy math. I can do that. 40 points separate these two teams.
With the clock ticking down under 7 minutes to go in this contest, going into jam 16 of the second half.
Penalty box is empty, meaning we've got 80 wheels ablazing on the flat track as far as our teams are concerned. Action that has begun. Rolling Rogue jamming, but it's Soccer Blue for a quick lead jam for Badass Derby. Rolling Rogue taken to the outside, going to recycle back by the pivot line. Big hit on Rolling Rogue, but
Bambi Thumper again.
Soccer Blue through for 4. Chooses to go right through the tripod. Great job challenging the links. And great job dropping the links by Montana to avoid the multiplayer. Are going to lose the pivot to the box for Team Badass. That's number 149, Bambi Thumper. Show me your kitties. Once again receiving the star for Montana. As she dons the star, activating her jammer powers that will force the call off from Badass Derby. Badass Derby managing to pick up 10 points on that jam to Montana's 0. Brings our score to Montana 100, Badass Derby 150.
We got a timeout called on the floor, and this team timeout is brought to you by...
This team timeout is brought to you by Tashmika Tork, and Tashmika Tork is a queer black woman who centers her work around connecting dope-ass people to liberatory ideas so that we can all get free. I can get behind that.
That's
As a healing justice consultant, abolitionist, and survivor activist, Tashmika is cultivating her community's ability to imagine, build, and maintain ways to intervene on acts of violence without relying on police, prisons, or other state institutions as a path forward towards ending state-sanctioned violence against black and brown people. When Tashmika is not visioning, cultivating, and facilitating her own heart work, she is raising the free people in her home, playing in her garden, helping leaders build their own dreams, and teaching and modeling how to create safer spaces for all. For an inside look at what she's growing in her garden and in her work, visit TashmikaTorok.com. That is TashmikaTorok.com.
Thank you, Tashmika. That's awesome. And I knew you wanted to read that one.
Oh, it's a good one.
Absolutely.
Solid. It's well written. It reads well.
It's just a great person.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you live your truth. That's what you have. Going into jam number 17 of the second half, we got Ursa Mamer wearing the star for Team Bada. Tramp Stamp going to be the jammer record for Team Montana and the 405.
Ursa Mamer pushing on the 3 wall up at the front of the back. In comes Bambi Thumper trying to break up the wall. Does shake things up, breaks Mamer right out of there. Lee Jan going to Badass Derby and Ursa Mamer.
Bambi's having a really, really good game.
Absolutely. Bambi has been instrumental in a lot of these instances where their jammer has been stuck behind the wall of Montana.
At the back of the pack, we got Booty Queen and a couple players to be named later. One of them is Queen of Hearts. And we also got 76, Grandpa. Grandpa, I can get behind that.
4 more points up for Badass Derby. That's 8 so far in this jam. Star has been passed for Montana over to Texas Twister. Still looking for the initial pass completion for Montana as Ursa Mamer threw for another 12. Badass Derby doing a great job locking this game up in the waning minutes here. Only 4 minutes remain to play. Certainly not an insurmountable spread here, but it's going to be a steep uphill battle. Texas Twister through on the inside. That completes the initial for Montana and will also prompt the call-off from Badass Derby. Grand total of 16 points on that jam for Badass Derby. Montana held scoreless. Badass Derby now stands at 166. Montana 100. 3 minutes, 25 seconds remain to play.
Nice.
Well, like I said, there's the difference. You know, it was 3 leads in a row coming for Montana, 6 points, 3 leads in a row now coming for Badass.
Happy Coffee penalty box is empty. We've got Soccer Blue on the line for Badass Derby in the blue.
Yes. Yeah. I'm cool with that too.
So here we are back to make Soccer Blue. Maybe the attempt for Badass. I have a champion lost the back there for me right now for, oh, that's 12. 12. Just going to say 12, we're going to get it, and this time it is not 12.
Yep, so we've got number 12 out there taking lead for Montana. Foggy returning to the track after a while. Soccer Blue right behind. We've got the both jammers number 12, not confusing for anybody. This is why I'm not an official.
I hear you. Clock ticking down. We got 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this contest.
Soccer Blue trying to get through on the inside, stuck behind that tripod for Montana. Foggy does break through, 4 points up for Montana.
Under 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Foggy takes a hit right there on the inside.
Ooh, Foggy knocked to the inside, is going to be forced to recycle back into the turn 3-4 apex. We've got Badass Derby's defense really locking down.
So what I always like to call that rare kind of an open night pitch.
Oh, there are the words. All right, so Montana really having locked down around Soccer Blue.
Hiding in the right direction.
Soccer having a real hard time completing this initial pass. Foggy, though, now having trouble as well. The now 4-wall for Badass Derby holding firm. I guess technically a 3 and a float now. Yep, and as we break off to bridge, both of these tripods just barely moving. Things are going to be spread out a little far, but we are going to have things called, and it's going to be 2-3 jam pass. So 4 points for Badass Derby, 6 for Montana, as an official review is called for by Montana.
I want to take this opportunity to talk about Sacred Roller Skate Supply, your source for high-quality skates and gear, custom builds, and community engagement. Career-owned and operated since 2021, Sacred brings not only a passion for maintaining a supportive environment for skaters of all levels and all identities, but also for providing industry-leading brands and knowledge to support a safe skating lifestyle. Whether it's roller derby, park skating, rink, or recreational, Sacred has you covered. That is Sacred Roller Skate Supply. Also want to reset, if you're following these two teams from home, you obviously are interested in these two teams. Montana's going to play again on track 1 at 4:30. Badass Derby's going to play at 6 o'clock on track 3.
And that's a European Standard Time, right?
Yes. What are we at here?
No, it's Eastern Standard Time.
Is it?
Yeah. Or Eastern Daylight Time.
I don't even know. I know I got to call. It's earlier at home.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm good this way.
Yeah, we're living in the future, Johnny.
You know, last week when I was in Phoenix, it was 2 hours later. Mm-hmm. So I had to be real careful when I called because the baby likes to sleep.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, it's important to not live in the past, Johnny. And
yes.
if you are in the continental United States, the best way to not live in the past is to go further east. So you can get into the future.
Absolutely. If you go fast enough,
yeah.
I think you can. We're still trying to work out the kinks of this, but
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
it is.
that's really why I'm into Derby, is the science around speed
Absolutely.
and how we can just be faster to control time itself.
And while we're talking about this nonsense, I just wanted to say hi to Harley Grace. Papa will be home as soon as I can get there. She's such a cute little baby with her chubby cheeks. I made a little song about it. You want to hear it?
I would love to.
Harley Grace with the pretty face and the rolling eyes. Love your thighs. Make me happy just to be alive. I love Harley Grace.
Oh, that's adorable.
Papa, I'll see you as soon as I get home. Also, shout out to all my other friends watching in Texas and friends from elsewhere as well.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got anybody you want to say hi to?
Oh, if they're up this early, I'm impressed. No, I'm impressed that I'm up this early. But no, yeah, shout out to all of you who are enjoying the stream right now. Shout out to my friends at home back in sunny, warm Madison, Wisconsin. It's been an absolute delight being able to come here, because I personally, so my home league is Madison Roller Derby, and our league has quite a few skaters on a few different teams here. Also, I'm a member of Wisconsin United Roller Derby, so we have clearly a strong representation on Team Wisconsin. But also have some
Absolutely.
friends on Team Trans United and or Trans Rollers United, excuse me, and got Jewish Roller Derby and Team Philippines. And then just like, so all of the Madison folks are great to see, but it's like, buddy, it's so good to see all of our friends that we like, travel and see in the before times to all these events. Wonderful to see. Gonna see if I can get a little bit of information for us on this official review. Excuse me one moment.
I'm sure Rich is going to find out the skinny of this. We're going into Jam 19 with a minute left to go on the clock. Emotional Jam is just going to be your jammer record 14 Bada. And it looks like 91. That is Shake and Bake. Wearing the Star 14 Montana. What's the skinny on that official review?
So Montana was looking for a forearm penalty on the Badass Derby Jammer, but on extensive review, the penalizable contact was not observed, so the no call stands, and Montana will lose their official review for the second half.
I want to give a shout out to Loose Change out there watching. I know.
Oh,
Hi,
LC.
Loose Change. You want to pimp Utter Chaos next year?
We'll talk about it after this game.
Oh, okay.
Emotional Jamage through for 4 points here. Shake and Bake working on the initial, again, just the Badass Derby blockers up at the front of the pack, driving up the pack speed. Relying on their jammers' speed to just be able to catch up and make it harder for Montana's blockers to catch up to perform those blocks. Montana will lose a blocker to the box. Jam will be called by Emotional Jamage. Looks like 8 points picked up that jam from Badass Derby, 4 for Montana.
That's your unofficial score, 178 to 110. Real quick, Utter Chaos next year?
Yeah, Utter Chaos happening next year. We do not have dates for it yet, but we usually are targeting spring, like either late April, early May.
Cool.
So yeah, of course, once we have dates for that event, we will be pushing that out, and I hope to see you there, Johnny.
I'm looking forward to that. And as always, you're more than welcome to come down to Clover Cup in March. We have dates.
Yeah.
And for more information, go to clovercup.com.
Oh, boy.
I am Johnny Pepper,
And I am Rich Mahogany.
wishing you peace, love, and roller derby. One more time, that final score, 178 to 110.